Second podcast of the week. We're going to be doing some picks. So last week, I'm going to start off in college. Because college football this week has been a shit show. COVID has wiped out about 8 games this week. So I don't even remember which games I was gonna pick anyway. There were some good ones I wanted, and then it wiped out. I know for sure Alabama, LSU, and a few more that I wanted to pick. And now I look at the slate and I'm like, shit, what's the game of the week? I mean, I think I have one, but
yeah, I could definitely see that.
Anyway, so recap last week. I finished 9-3. You finished 6-6. Gave me an advantage. I think you were up 1 for the season last week. I gained the 2-game advantage with that. But let's go ahead and get to it. Friday night, or tonight's game, Iowa at Minnesota. Iowa is a 3.5-point favorite.
I'll take the underdog there. I'm in Minnesota.
You're going to go Minnesota?
Yeah.
I don't hate that because I really do like PJ Fleck.
I think they're pretty similar teams from what I understand.
Yeah.
So.
Iowa, though, got off to a little slow start. They didn't play horrible, though. I think they lost 2 close games to start the year. They blew out whoever they played last week. I can't remember who. Maybe Michigan State, I think. Maybe they're finding their footing. I don't know. I'll go Hawkeyes here. I'm going to follow Vegas. Start with our game on Saturday. TCU at West Virginia. Right now, the Mountaineers are a 3-point favorite.
Let's go Mountaineers. I fucking so mad about last week still. We'd be, probably sitting at like 18, 17 right now?
Probably, yeah. We were about 29th, I think, in the polls. Or, in terms of voting.
Yeah.
Like the fifth team that wasn't ranked.
Yep.
So you're going Mountaineers?
Yeah, I'll go Mountaineers.
I'm going to go Mountaineers too. I don't feel really confident in it because I think this is... One, I don't know how we're going to score points on Gary Patterson.
Yeah.
That worries me a little bit. But two, I think both of them... I know Gary Patterson's going to bring his defense. We play very good defense as well. Going to be close. I would say a very low-scoring game. I'm going to take us at home, though. What's that?
I said bet the under is what you're
saying. Yeah, I would bet the under here. I don't trust either of these offenses. I'll take us at home, though. We've played very well at home this year. Here we go. Number 9, Miami at Virginia Tech. As of right now, Virginia Tech is a 2-point favorite.
I'll go Miami.
Yeah, I'll go Miami too. Yeah. I don't really trust Virginia Tech.
No. After what I saw last week, that game was insane. By the way.
What game?
The Liberty Virginia Tech game.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that game. I'm very unless someone's hurt for Miami, I'm very surprised Virginia Tech is a favorite here. Number 10, Indiana at Michigan State. Indiana is a 7-point favorite right now.
Indiana's 10th? Holy
yeah.
Shit. I'll go Indiana, I guess. I didn't know they were that good.
Well, Indiana just smoked. Well, Indiana's looked pretty good this year.
Yeah,
and they're coming off their biggest win, maybe ever, knocking off Michigan as bad as they did. I think... I don't even know the coach's name. Tom Allen, I think, is his name. He's got that program humming right now. So I'll go with the Hoosiers, too.
Okay.
Wake Forest at North Carolina. North Carolina is a 13.5-point favorite.
I'll go North Carolina.
Yeah, I'm going to go Tar Heels, too. Number 2. All right, this is a game I wouldn't sleep on. Number 2, Notre Dame at Boston College. On the road, 13.5-point favorite Notre Dame is. I think that I would circle this game as a potential upset.
I know you like Boston College. You were right about them the other day. So they didn't win, but they played way better than I thought. They played Clemson. You said it was going to be close. I was like, dude, no way. And it was actually, they were up most of the game, if I'm not mistaken. So I agree it'll be closer than the eye, but I'm still not going to go Boston College.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to either. Notre Dame has been playing very well the last few weeks. But I'm very close to picking an upset here. Notre Dame, that was the biggest win for Notre Dame in years. I couldn't even tell you when. Maybe that Texas win a few years ago. But I'll take Notre Dame. I think Boston College keeps this very close, though, and I would keep an eye out for an upset. Number 20, USC at Arizona. So I want to clarify. Last week, I got this wrong. USC played Arizona State. I read it wrong. I swear to God, I even wrote it on my blog.
I would have picked USC.
Oh, I know, but I read it wrong. And I even wrote it on my blog. I said, like, you know, I threw in, like, Herm Edwards, the Sun Devils, Arizona State, and I looked up Saturday morning, and I said, oh, shit, or the other way around, I'm sorry, Arizona. I was like, Arizona, the Wildcats, Kevin Sumlin. And then I woke up Saturday morning, and I said, oh, my God, they're playing Arizona State. I look like an idiot. But now they are playing Arizona, so I just wanted to throw that out there. But,
still USC, but yeah, I can see how you want that one up.
Yeah, so you're going SC?
Yeah.
Me too. I just don't, to piggyback off what I said last week about Arizona, I don't trust Kevin Sumlin right now.
Hey, he's been an underwhelming coach for how he started his career.
Yep. Okay, Arkansas at number 6, Florida. Florida is a 17.5-point favorite right now.
Yeah, I'll go Florida.
I'm going Florida too. Don't sleep on Arkansas. Like Boston College, they have been very competitive this year.
Very scrappy. Very
scrappy. That's a good word for it. I would not be surprised if Arkansas managed to keep this within the spread. I would still... I am still going to pick the Gators to win by like 10, 11, 12 points, somewhere in there. Number 11, Oregon at Washington State. Oregon is a 10-point favorite.
I'll go Oregon. Who's Oregon's quarterback this year?
Dude, I don't even know. I didn't even watch him last week.
I really don't know. I'll still go Oregon.
I don't know enough about Washington State to pick them.
I just know Washington State lost a lot of players.
I like their coach. They hired that dude after Mike Leach left. They hired that dude from Hawaii who was winning about 9 to 10 games every year. Rolovich is his name. I think pretty good coach, but first year, I know he's breaking in some new faces. Don't really know what to expect. I'll go Ducks here. They have more talent. Another underrated game, in my opinion. Number 23, Northwestern at Purdue. Wildcats are a 3-point favorite.
I'll go Northwestern.
You're going Northwestern.
Going Boilermakers, Shane?
I really want to.
I know, I can tell.
I gotta think about this one. Screw it. I'll go Boilermakers. I really like Jeff Brown, and the game is in West Lafayette. I'll take Purdue.
Okay.
South Carolina at Ole Miss. Ole Miss is an 11-point favorite.
I go Ole Miss.
Yeah, South Carolina has looked like a mess the last few weeks. So I will go with the Rebels as well. Let me write it down. All right, game of the week. And, given the circumstances, I don't think it's a bad game of the week, but number 13, Wisconsin at Michigan. Badgers are a 4.5-point favorite.
I honestly want to go Michigan here.
Man. I know, me too, really.
I think they're going to go be pissed, but I'm going to go Wisconsin. I can't. Michigan is like the Falcons to me. It's just like they should be so much better than they are, and I keep hinging like my decisions on that thought process instead of just seeing what the product is on the field. And I'll go Wisconsin. I really want to go Michigan here.
Yeah, this is another tough one for me. But I'll go Badgers as well. I would not be surprised. One, I wouldn't be surprised if Michigan just played their best game of the year because you never know with Harbaugh. But I mentioned this, I think, 2 weeks or last week, and he proved me wrong. But Harbaugh has struggled against the top teams in the Big Ten: Wisconsin, Michigan State, Ohio State, Penn State. And I thought he'll beat Indiana, and he didn't. So don't have a lot of faith in the Wolverines right now. I'm gonna go Badgers, but I'm not totally confident in it because they're coming off 2 weeks of COVID outbreak. I don't really know what to expect from either team right now, but I'll take the Badgers.
I think John Harbaugh has a foot out the door. Too.
You mean Jim Harbaugh?
Or that's what I meant. I'm sorry. That's what I meant. Jim Harbaugh has a foot out the door. I think he's going to the Bears, bro.
No, not the Bears. I wouldn't mind that, but not the Bears. All right, let's go to the NFL. So last week we both had very good weeks. You finished 10-4. I was 11-3. You had a 4-game lead though, so I cut it to 3. So just chipping away.
Chipping away.
So Thursday night, we're recording this before the Thursday night game. Are you sticking with your Titans pick? The line has shifted in favor of the Colts, I believe now.
Really?
I think I read that right. I think the Colts are now a 1-point favorite.
I'm still going to have to go Titans. It's going to be a very low-scoring game, though.
All right, so you're sticking with the Titans. So am I. Sunday games. Starting things off, Jacksonville or Jaguars at the Packers. Packers are a 13.5-point favorite.
Oh, go Packers.
Yeah, I can't even bring myself to think. You know how we both are like this. We'll both get nervous about some lesser team like I was with San Francisco. But this is a game where even as a fan and with that mindset, I'm like, I just don't see how Jacksonville keeps it close unless Green Bay just plays horribly, Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, knock on wood. But I just don't see how it could happen.
Yeah, it's not going to be very close.
Texans at Browns. Browns are a 3-point favorite. I flirted with the Texans here.
I'm pretty sure Nick Chubb's back, and that's all I've been waiting to start picking the Browns again. So
you're going Browns?
No, Myles Garrett might kill.
Yeah. So Houston's defense is one of the worst at stopping the run.
Yep.
And Cleveland likes to lean on its ground attack. And if Nick Chubb is back, you got Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. I think the Browns are just going to gash them up front. Just gash them in the run game. If Houston finds a way to stop the run, this could become a shootout, and I don't trust Baker Mayfield to outscore Deshaun Watson, so I'd keep an eye on that, though.
That's exactly.
Washington at Detroit. Lions are a 3-point favorite right now.
Lions are going to kick their ass.
You're going the Lions. I took the Lions as well. I keep thinking Washington's pass rush is going to elevate it to a win at some point, but it hasn't yet. But again, I still think they could possibly win this game. I'll go Lions though.
They're just so bad everywhere else, man. It's like, listen, I get it. That's such an important part, but it's like I would equate them to like a team just having a stacked lineup and no pitching in baseball. Yeah. It's just like you're still going to lose a bunch of games, even though your hitting will keep you in some games, but they don't have enough. They just don't. They're terrible in offense. They have a bad O-line. They have a bad secondary. It's just not very good.
All right, your Eagles at the Giants. Eagles are a 3.5-point favorite right now.
Listen, Eagles are getting healthy. Still not very good, but I think Wentz needed a week off to clear his head. I think the Eagles are going to roll, bro.
You think they're going to? Wow, you're never that confident.
No, and it's just because, coming off a bye, like, Darius Slay is going to shut down Slayton, and then who else do they have? I'm not afraid of anyone else on that offense. Saquon's gone. Defense is terrible. All they got to do is avoid James Bradbury. That should be, for the taking.
The Giants' best chance to beat the Eagles and potentially gain some ground in this division and gain some momentum was a few weeks ago when the Eagles had nobody.
Yep,
and
agreed.
They didn't get it done. And now, like you said, the Eagles are getting healthier. Not to mention that Doug Peterson is one of those coaches that when he has an extra week to prepare, I wouldn't want to play him.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm going Eagles as well.
Plus, this is like the time of year when Doug Peterson's team, I hate it, by the way, but this is the time of year when his team's starting to tighten up and play better.
Bucks at Panthers. Bucks are a 5.5-point favorite. This is another game. I flirted with the Panthers here.
Tom Brady probably hasn't had a wink of sleep since Monday night, dude. Like he's not. It's not happening. They're gonna kick their ass.
I don't know if they'll kick their ass. Carolina's been a very scrappy team. Been in a lot of close games. They're just not there yet as a team. But as I've mentioned on this podcast before, I'm big on picking a well-coached team that got embarrassed on primetime football or national broadcast football to bounce back the next week, and I think the Bucs are going to do that. But I think Carolina keeps it close.
Yeah, I agree with all that.
Chargers at Dolphins. Dolphins right now are a 2.5-point favorite. I just got an alert though that Miami's going to be without 2 starters defensively. I don't know who. I don't know.
COVID?
Yes, COVID. I can't tell. It's a video. It's Kyle Van Noy, Christian Wilkins defensively.
That's not good.
It's not good. I'm still gonna go with the Dolphins though.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins.
Dolphins are playing too well, and I don't trust the Chargers to do anything really.
No, that's a futures game though. That's gonna be 2 good teams that I think are gonna be pretty fucking good in like 2 years.
All right, we got to get some differences here.
They've been easy picks so far.
What's that?
They've been fairly easy picks so far.
I know. Bills at Cardinals. Cardinals are a 1.5-point favorite.
What time is that game?
What time?
Yeah.
I think it's one of those 4 o'clock, 4:30 games. Let me double check.
All right. I gotta go Cardinals, man.
All right, there's a difference we have.
I don't want to, but I don't know, man. Kyler Murray is just one of those players that are so fucking scary, dude, because you never feel like they're out of the game. He's just one of those players like.
Yeah, this is the 4:05 game. So you're going Cardinals. So I went with the Bills. 1, I think the Bills have their groove back. 2, Sean McDermott is the far superior coach in this game. I think that's going to make a difference. And Arizona's defense, I wrote it on my blog, when Arizona's defense, when it hasn't played Dallas, Washington, or one of the other the Jets,
Yeah.
the 3 of the bottom feeders, they're actually giving up close to 30 points per game defensively. I think Josh Allen's going to sling it all over the field. I think the Bills are going to score a bunch of points.
I'd be happy to be wrong about the Bills, so wouldn't even be upset about it.
49ers at Saints. Saints right now we're a 9-point favorite.
Yeah, I'll go Saints. The Niners are in shambles. I honestly think a lot of players on that team have mailed it in already. It's just one of those things where they just keep getting hurt, and I think that the players that are healthy are just like, fuck this at this point. So
Yeah, it's getting to the point with the 49ers. You know, you want to stay in contention despite all the bad breaks you've gotten. You know, you want to hover, you know, like they've been doing, hover around being a playoff team. That way when you get healthy, you can make a run. But they're another loss away, I think, with all the injuries they have from the organization just being like, you know what, let's mail it in. Let's get a top 15 pick, you know, and get a stud.
yeah, I agree. Smart thing.
I wouldn't want to go up against Kyle Shanahan when he's got 10 days to prepare, but I'm going to go with Saints anyway. 49ers are too banged up. Garoppolo's out. I think Kittle's still out. Just too many injuries. I think the Saints are going to win. Bengals at Steelers. Steelers are a 7.5-point favorite.
Bengals are going to cover that, but the Steelers win.
Okay. I went with the Steelers too. So Joe Burrow has been sacked the second most times, I think, in the league right now. 28 times in 8 games. That's, you know, almost 3 times a game, roughly. I think he's got a very difficult matchup going up against Pittsburgh's front 7. I think Pittsburgh's just going to get after him. He might be able to make some plays, keep him in the game, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Steelers won and covered. All right,
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have a hard time blocking, you know, Watt and Hayward and shit and Dupree and shit. I can tell you that. You're 100% correct there.
Ravens at Patriots. Ravens are a 7-point favorite.
Yeah, Ravens are going to roll. Patriots are done, man.
Yeah, Patriots, I just don't see it happening.
Stick a fork in.
This, like I said last week with the Jets, and the Jets almost won that game. I said the Jets were going to show up because it was a chance to beat New England, who has dominated them for 20 years.
You were right. That was a good call, dude. You were right.
Baltimore, this used to be a heated game between Baltimore and New England, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
A few, you know, for years. A lot of, I shouldn't say a lot of guys, but there's still, John Harbaugh is still on that team, you know, still the head coach. I bet you he hates New England.
Classic matchup.
I think they're going to show up, probably winning cover. I wouldn't be surprised if they won by, 13, 17 points.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Monday Night Football. Vikings at Bears. Vikings right now are a 2.5-point favorite.
Vikings are going to win that, man.
So
they are. Which is probably better for you. I know Vikings were you made the
it's better for me because I said it on my Twitter, I think after Sunday's game, that Minnesota is our biggest challenge right now in the NFC North. And we have a, 3-game lead on them, and we've already played them twice. So we don't have to worry. We really don't have to worry about them. If they beat the Bears, I think we are well in the driver's seat to win this division.
Yeah, I agree.
So we would win. The Vikings would win. We'd still be 3 games above them with, about 6 games left? Or 7 games left. So nothing about this game makes me think the Vikings are going to win. Because the Bears match up very well with them. The Vikings don't have a good offensive line. I think the pass rush could be there for Chicago. Kirk Cousins isn't very good. Chicago has actually won the last 4 games between these two teams. It's been 2 years in a row that the Vikings have not beaten the Bears. However, Vikings are playing too good right now. Dalvin Cook is on a tear. Chicago's defense has actually been vulnerable against the rush this season. They're about middle of the pack in the league. So, pretty mediocre. I'll go Minnesota here, playing very well. I think Dalvin Cook has another big game.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook and Devontae Adams might have their positions on lock right now, man.
Game of the week. This is all right. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Seahawks at Rams. Rams are a 1.5-point favorite.
I could really, really, really see the Rams winning that, but I'm going to go Seahawks. I don't see them losing twice in a row.
You're going Seahawks. Yep. So that was my initial take, but then I changed it up to the Rams. Reason why, since 2017, Sean McVay has a record of 4-2 when he has extra time to prepare. That's one reason. He has a record of 19-8 at home since becoming head coach of the Rams. That number is actually 15-4 since 2018. Number 3, the Rams defense has been very good this year, averaging, I think, allowing close to 19 points per game. With an extra week to prepare, I think Sean McVay is going to dial up some plays to expose Seattle's porous defense. They're going to score points on Seattle. Can Russell Wilson keep up? He can keep up, I should say. Can he show up and play really well? He didn't last week. I'm sure he'll bounce back this week. But again, keep in mind, it's a cross-country trip. They went to Buffalo, going back to the West Coast. I think that does take a toll on people. Very tough matchup for the Seahawks. I'll go Rams.
I'm going to switch my pick.
You're going to go Rams as well?
And the reason is, you just obviously the Seahawks defense is almost historically bad, and then when you told me Sean McVay had a bye, they might put up 40 points.
I think they are. I would bet the over. If I had any money, I'd bet the over.
I didn't really think of that. I mean, Russell Wilson, of course, is capable of putting up 45 and winning a game 42-45 or something.
Yeah.
But whatever. I mean, can you really bet on that and with any certainty? No. So I'm going to switch my pick. Thank you for that, sir. Yeah. That was an Adam Lefko switch.
Adam Lefko switch?
You gave me all that information, and I was like,
oh, dude, you're right. I'm so much like Lefko because I bring out all these different, I do some research, and I'm like, oh, he's this, this is his record. Especially in the preseason because he brought out all sorts of shit for the preseason predictions. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, there was one moment, I forget what he said, but I'm like, dude, you are looking way too into it.
Nah, he's the man. I love Lefko. I think he's going to be he should be calling games or something at some point.
I agree. He's very good.
Yeah, he's good, dude. He's still young. He's probably only 30 years old. I mean, by the time he's in his 40s, it's going to be up there. He's good. I like him.
Warren Sharp needs to be calling some games too. He needs to be on the Monday night crew.
I like Warren Sharp.
Warren Sharp is, as part of my take says, the CIA of the NFL. He knows more about the NFL than Vegas does.
Yep.
I tried. Have you tried to look up his subscription to his website?
Nah, why? Is it expensive?
Mm-hmm.
How much?
So I looked it up. I'm like, all right, I saw the number at first, and I thought it was $99. I thought, oh, $99 for a year? That's not too bad. It was $99 a month. I thought, holy shit.
And he'll probably give you a year deal for $1,000 or something. That's probably what he does.
And I was like, well, can you imagine the people in Vegas who use his knowledge to bet on games? Like, no wonder it costs that much.
Dude, you could make that money theoretically in one game, week 1.
Yeah.
Get it right back. So, I mean, it's like, yeah, it is expensive from a general perspective. Like, who wants to pay fucking $1,000 for a preseason guy? But theoretically, if he's as good as we know he is, I mean, you can make that money back in literally a game or a week or what have you. So, not that bad. If they're good. I mean, that's shitty if it's just some random guy nobody knows about that hasn't attracted.
No, Warren Sharp, I didn't know his background. He left Vegas because he worked in Vegas. From what I've heard, he worked in Vegas and helped them, create the spreads and stuff. Well, then he started doing it on his own, and then left Vegas. And then Vegas, I think, tried to pay him off to not do it anymore or something like that because he was more right than Vegas was.
Yeah. Damn.
It was something like that. I know he used to work in Vegas
sweet.
and then left to do his own thing, and he's been more right than Vegas has been.
No, that's actually sweet.
All right, my man. I'll let you go. Looking forward to a weekend of football. Weekend's here. This week has flown by, honestly. I feel like it has.
Yes, it has. And I was about to go to the gym, but you know what? I'm about to go inside and sit the fuck down.
All right, my man. I'll see you later.
Later, man.
Later.